Welcome back to Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine, as the 2016 PBA League rolls on. The Bowl Portland community fired up to see the greatest bowlers in the world compete on teams in this season's quest for the Elias Cup. Today, the quarterfinals continue as 4 more teams are set to slug it out, featuring stars like 3-time PBA Player of the Year Jason Belmonte, as well as Hall of Fame legends Norm Duke, Parker Moan III, and Walter Ray Williams Jr.
This is Bowl Portland, a way of life here, fun and competition, plus a great admiration for the skills of the professional bowler. Those skills on display in best-of-2 game matches in today's PBA League quarterfinals, with the winners advancing to the semifinals. First 2 quarterfinals see New York City take out the defending Elias Cup champions.
Pete Weber comes through in the 10th frame in game 1, and they end up taking down the defending champs.
The newest franchise, the hometown Portland Lumberjacks.
Well, they squeaked by the first game by 1 pin, but they really put it on them in the second game, finishing with a 6-bagger.
New York City WTT Kingpins and the Portland Lumberjacks advance to the semifinals, the back half of the quarterfinal draw on today's show. And welcome to this unique competitive arena. I'm Mike Jakubowski with 13-time PBA Tour titleist Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Kimberly Pressler joins us shortly. Randy, the LAX, twice a bridesmaid in this competition, and the Motown Muscle, full of youth and vigor.
Yeah, it's a real interesting matchup, starting with Motown. They've got all the youth on their side, but not a lot of experience in this competition. However, 2 of their players are in the top 10 in earnings this year on the PBA Tour. That would be Danielle McEwen and Anthony Simonson. On the other side, the LAX, well, it's all about experience. In fact, they're the only team that's returning all 5 starters from last season, and they're anchored by all-world 2-hander Jason Belmonte.
And now, let's meet the LAX.
LAX. We're done with second place. We're bringing home the cup. LAX.
The lineup for LAX. Leading off, he owns 1 PBA Tour title from Liverpool, England, Stuart Williams. In the 2 spot, he owns 3 PBA Tour titles from Colombia, Andres Gomez. Bowling third, a 14-time PBA Tour champion with 2 major titles from Mount Kisco, New York, Patrick Allen. The setup man in the 4-hole, the 2011-12 Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award winner from Sweden, Martin Larsson. Bowling anchor, a 12-time PBA Tour champion with 6 major titles from Orange, New South Wales, Australia, the 3-time and reigning PBA Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte. The LAX are managed by former USBC President Andrew Kane. Here are the Motown Muscle.
Back in. Motown Muscle.
What a time for Russell to come up big.
Bringing the muscle to the PBA League. Motown Muscle.
The lineup for the Motown Muscle, leading off the reigning World Bowling Tour Women's Champion from Stony Point, New York, Danielle McEwen. In the 2 spot, a 2-time PBA Tour champion from Mesa, Arizona, Josh Blanchard.
Let's go! Come on! Go!
Bowling third, a 3-time PBA Tour champion from Marion, Indiana, Ronnie Russell. The setup man in the 4-hole, the 2012-13 PBA Tour Rookie of the Year from Huntington, Indiana, E.J. Tackett. Bowling anchor, the youngest major champion in PBA Tour history from Princeton, Texas, Anthony Simonson. The Motown Muscle are managed by PBA Hall of Famer Del Ballard Jr.
All right, Mike J., let's talk format. 2 games of Baker. Teams advance by winning both games. If they tie, each team will get a half point. The match will be decided by a roll-off after 2 games if we are tied.
Third member of our broadcast team is Kimberly Pressler, standing by with the PBA Player of the Year.
Thanks, guys. I am ringside. Jason, listen, I'm chanting for you over here. Jason, so you guys have been first runner-up 2 times. Not exactly what you guys want to hear, but what do you got to do to get over the hump to take your first ever Elias Cup trophy?
Look, you know, we've really performed well as a team, so I think we're going to kind of trust each other. We're going to talk and communicate really well with how the lanes are breaking down. And in these formats, it's so cutthroat. You've got to throw the 2 best shots that you can. The pins fall, they fall. If they don't, you go home.
Well, let's talk about the fact that you guys work so well together. You're the only team to bring all 5 starters back. How do you make that into a positive?
Well, we just know each other so well. I mean, you know, most of the team is international players. We've bowl with each other around the world, and Patrick's really good friends with the whole team. So the communication and trust there is also on a friendship level as well. You know, when they say something, I know that that's exactly what's going on the lane. So it really gives you the confidence. Make that move, throw your shot.
Well, good luck to you guys today.
Cheers.
Guys, back to you in the booth.
Thanks, Kimberly. Randy, strap yourself in. This is the PBA League Bopo style.
Yeah, and it's really only possible by being here in Portland, Maine, and being here at Bayside.
Our thanks to Charlie Mitchell and everybody here at Bayside Bowl. Mitchell's Portland Lumberjacks have advanced to the PBA League semifinals, and we will have 2 more semifinalists on today's program. Best of 2 Baker games. 5-player teams will combine for 1 score, win twice, and you're in the semifinal.
And let's take a look at the PBA League oil pattern, 42 feet in length. Good scores on this oil pattern. The players can play a variety of areas. The straighter players will play closer to second arrow. The heavy-handed guys will be at that 4th arrow. The lefties pretty close to second arrow as well on their side of the lane.
Mark Roth, PBA Hall of Famer, 6th on the all-time list of titleists. And his lovely wife Denise here in Portland. And it's great to have Mark with us as we begin. Danielle McEwen, PWBA Tour Championship winner, will get things started, leading off for Motown. Solid shot. 6 gets the 10 nicely.
Danielle's got a lot of game. What a great bowler she is.
And now the man they call Beef Stew, Stuart Williams, a favorite here in Portland. 34 years old with a PBA Tour title at the World Series of Bowling. They love him here in Bopo. They're not booing. They're saying Stu. Opening shot for the LAX. Tight on the nose, just a 4-pin.
A little too direct there, leaving the 4-pin.
If a player leaves and converts the 7-10 split on today's show, he or she will earn the $100,000 Ultimate Spare Bonus courtesy of Ultimate Bowling. Completely different competitive environment. The music plays, the crowd cheers, and the bowlers bowl. Standing room to the left and right of the players. And now Josh Blanchard for the Motown Muscle. 28 out of Gilbert, Arizona, 2 PBA Tour titles, including a win last year as a part of this main event. Blanchard light in the pocket, and he shakes out and rudely shoves out the 7.
And a nice start for Motown Muscle. Another great player in this event, Josh Blanchard. Boy, smooth stroking Josh.
Andrew Kane bringing back all 5 players from the LAX, including Andres Gomez, 3-time tour titleist, the smooth stroker from Colombia.
Freddie drops 10.
And a nice shot by Andres to start things off for LAX.
The multi-talented Ronnie Russell. Out of Marion, Indiana, 3 PBA Tour titles up in the 3rd for Motown. That's in the nose. Avoids trouble, just the 3 and the 6.
When you have as much hand as Ronnie Russell does, it's kind of hard to go that straight. Avoids the big split, just leaving the 3-6.
Open frame, and looks like he's stuck at the line. And the first miscue turns the lead over to LAX.
And what a feeling that is after opening for your team, having to walk back to the bench. Eek.
4 players to rely on, and nothing feels worse when you can't come through for the team. Now Patrick Allen, lead handed to LA, can extend to 14 with a strike. 3rd frame, opening shot. Diego's in the nose, and he just leaves a 6-10.
Patrick looking to double up and take advantage of that strike and the opening given to them by Motown. Instead, it's through the face. Avoids the big split. The 7-pin falls late. Just the 6-10 remaining.
Just 2 shots per player per game. When you have your practice, you have to commit to the line.
It's tough, man. You get 2 shots unless you're bowling anchor, then you get a couple more in the 10th. But, you know, the wait, the time in between each shot, too, is brutal.
Allen chunks it down the lane, picks up the 6-10.
Let's go.
Patrick will always be straight shooting with you. Let you know how he released it. Now our first look at E.J. Tackett, former Rookie of the Year out of Huntington, Indiana.
Pound for pound, strongest ball on tour right here.
They call him Squirrel here. And E.J. Tackett strikes from Motown.
One of the most gifted players on our tour, E.J. Tackett, can do some amazing things with a bowling ball.
There's some squirrels and a full-length costume squirrel clutching his acorn.
It's pretty cool when you travel with your own mascot.
Martin Larsson from Sweden, still looking for his first win on the PBA Tour, has come oh so close. And he drops 10. Martin Larsson strike.
Uh-oh, they're chest butting now.
That's tough when you go up against Stuart Williams. Momentum is on his side.
We have a ruling from the floor. Ronnie Russell fouled on his spare attempt. That will go as 8-0. We'll reset that score for you. Simonson, anchor player. 19-year-old anchor, Randy.
Yeah, it says a lot about his ability, doesn't it?
And now, anchor for LAX's Jason Belmonte.
6 major titles among his 12 on the PBA Tour. in the anchor slot for LA, can snatch the lead back here with a double fifth frame.
Jason Belmonte with a beautiful strike there, sporting the usual facial fescue, as are you, my friend. Motown Muscle, LAX, lots more action to come. Come back and join us in Portland, Maine.
The PBA League quarterfinals are brought to you by Visit Maine. Discovering your Maine thing begins at visitmaine.com. By Barbasol Shaving Cream, America's leader for a close, comfortable shave, now with new rust-proof aluminum bottoms. By hotelplanner.com, the best place to book hotel rooms. Best rooms, best rate, guaranteed. And by Geico, over 75 years of savings and service.
Maine has 3,166 offshore islands for fishing boats to navigate, netting over 40 million pounds of lobster per year. That's almost 90% of the nation's lobster production. Get your trap set, Randy. We're getting lobster tonight.
And you know how I love me some Maine lobster.
While we missed this in live action, Randy, explain the rule.
Well, once you cross the foul line and actually let go of the bowling ball, as you can see right here, Ronnie Russell going over the foul line, it's actually a dead ball. It's going to be 0 for that shot. And so as you can see here, we had to make an adjustment, which cost them a couple of pins in count.
So the 8F indicating 8 foul on the spare attempt by Ronnie Russell, and Motown with 4 out of 5 strikes trails by 6 pins in this opening best-of-2 Baker match. First team to win 2 games will move on to the semifinals in the PBA League. Del Ballard putting Danielle McEwen on top of this lineup. And here she is in the 6th. 6 leads into the channel, flat tap.
Yeah, just a little bit soft entering the pocket. I like Danielle in the leadoff position because she likes to go down and in, and that's very conducive to this oil pattern.
Del Ballard says Danielle reminds me of a younger Carolyn Doran Ballard, the same fire. And what the good leadoff player should do is fill the frame. And McEwen with the spare.
It wasn't good off my hand.
Today's Columbia 300 fun fact, LAX is the only team that has returned all 5 members from its 2015 PBA League team, runners-up in last year's Elias Cup Finals. Andrew Kane, manager, returning 2 players to the draft and getting those same 2 players back. So the same lineup for LAX. Here's Stu Williams in the 6th, strikes, working.
Yeah! Come on, LAX!
Turkey, XXX.
Where's the beef? It's in your face.
You don't need extra momentum for Stuart Williams to get fired up. Now Josh Blanchard up for Motown. Josh, a winner here at the Maine Shootout last year for his 3rd PBA Tour title. And he slams the 5 into the 7.
Josh really good at taking his hand out a little bit and going nice and straight, kind of like where Danielle is. That ball just shreds the rack.
Del Ballard calls Blanchard my grinder. He hits the 1-3 consistently. Now Andres Gomez, according to manager Andrew Kane, he brings calm to the approach. And calm needed sometimes when you're dealing with all of the elements here in the horseshoe at Bayside Bowl.
Well, he's definitely the soft-spoken one of that group.
Big foul. Yes! And a big result. The Colombian drives 10 home.
And that's a huge shot because now it's a 4-bagger for LAX and a 27-pin lead.
Now Ronnie Russell up, the victim of that foul. Now on the left lane, teams have switched lanes for the second 5 frames of this game, and that one skates wide for Russell. 1 to a 10 washout with double wood.
Get my other purple ball. I can't throw that ball. I don't know where it is.
Well, he stays behind the foul line. That's the good news. The bad news, it's an arrow right of where he wanted it and leaves the washout.
choosing to look at it, and Ronnie Russell cleans up the frame. Earning your hammer tough spare replay.
Yeah, perfect here. Ball to the left side of the head pin and drive it into the 10. Well done. And that's a huge shot, especially after he's coming off of that open frame in the third where he fouled. Taking big shots
for LAX, and Allen in the nose. It's the big 4.
Motown Muscle right back in this. His team was working on a 4-bagger. Boy, this is the last thing you want to see. Almost certain open frame coming up for LAX. This big 4 split's only been made once in the history of bowling on television.
Six and 2 in the 8th, 172 open, reducing the LAX lead to 9 pins. Opening game of this best of 2 Baker team match. E.J. Tackett.
Max score for Motown Muscle, 223. Max score LAX, 232.
Tackett splits the 8 and the 9.
Max revs for E.J. Tackett.
Del Ballard working with Tackett, trying to teach him that you don't have to hit a home run every time. What does he mean by that?
Well, you know, EJ explodes when he gets to the foul line, and that's how he creates all that power. And I think what Del's referring to is that he'd like to see him, at times, kind of pull back and harness some of that power.
Setup slot for the anchor player. This is the 9th frame in Martin Larson.
If he doesn't strike here, Motown can strike out in the 10th and capture game 1.
Larson, right hit, shakes him down. And Martin Larson with the Swedish swivel.
Do they practice these moves in the mirror?
That one seemed very spontaneous. Here it is.
Check this out. I don't know. It's kind of sexy, though. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Now Anthony Simonson.
Dancing with the Stars. Look out, Martin Larson.
Solid pitch.
Was he amazing?
I've talked to so many old school PBA professionals that really, really enjoy Anthony Simonson. What is it about him that appeals?
Well, first of all, it's his personality, his demeanor. He's just such a nice young man. But, you know, when you watch him throw it, even though he's a two-hander, he's not that real high powerhouse two-hander. He's very unassuming, if you will, for a two-handed style. But, man, is he good. And just mature beyond his age. He's just incredible. Look at this.
The youngest Masters champion in history just calmly steps up and goes label in the 10th.
If he strikes here, Belmonte will need a double to capture game 1. Youngest player ever in the history of professional bowling, the PBA Tour, to win a major. Just incredible. No thumb, two-handed style. You can see the thumb on the side of the ball.
Bang, bang, bang. 223. Simonson finishing up for Motown. Fills it up. And there's pressure now squarely on Jason Belmonte.
What an amazing young man. Needs 2. 2 strikes, 2 pins.
Navigating the crowd and the music, and the situation is 2 and 2, as Chuck Woolery used to say, 10th frame. Oh, solid pocket hit to answer.
That ball would have knocked down 30 pins. Jason Belmonte started the two-handed revolution, in my opinion, out here on the PBA Tour. All the youngsters watching him and his great success.
Manager Andrew Kane calling Belmonte a true anchor. When you have that kind of arsenal, you use it on the back end. Strike +2 for the win. right.
Yep, got it
And
ended.
Motown Muscle claims game one.
Got it. He got it left. Ball went high. Motown is going to capture game one, as you said, Mike J., but this is left of target and right through the face.
Motown Muscle, on the strength of Anthony Simonson, anchor player, have claimed game one. Game two when we return to Bayside Bowl in the PBA League. PBA League rolls on at Bayside Bowl. We're in Portland, Maine. Quarterfinal number 3 in the PBA League, and the Motown Muscle, on the strength of the back four, take a 1-0 lead over the LAX. Kimberly Pressler is with USBC former president and current board member Andrew Kane. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. So, Andrew, you know what? Your team took an early lead, but then Motown Muscle, they came alive and they took the win. So what strengths does your team have that you guys are going to lean on right now to get over that loss?
Well, these guys are fighters. If I know anything from the team last year, it's that we weren't up very much going into a match early, so I have full confidence they're going to come back and hopefully take this thing to a roll-off.
Well, let's talk a little bit about last year. What did you learn from being first runner-up last year that you brought into this?
Well, I learned that, their strengths, we've got pretty much the same lineup we rolled with a lot last year. Their chemistry's great. I know what fires each of them up, so we're gonna run with it again here and hopefully take Motown down in game two.
Well, we'll see if that works for you. Good luck to you
Thank
guys.
you.
Guys, back to you in the booth.
The LAX must win game two to force a roll-off if they'd like to advance. The Motown Muscle would rather go 2-0. The rest of our quarterfinal match when we return. The bow pole community is so focused on bowling and professional bowling, they even know the best handheld operator in the business.
That's Charles Montgomery, and when you're the best handheld in the business, you get your own fat head.
That,
Yeah, Charles.
is Bopo. And Charles helped us with this track tech talk on Danielle McEwitt.
A couple different ways to get into the pocket. Look at this beautiful old school style Danielle. The one big change she's made, she's learned how to get more hand in it. Now here's the other way. Her teammate, Anthony Simonson, no thumb, runs to the foul line. But you know what? The two do have something in common, Mike J. They're both shot makers.
Lineup changes, Randy, permitted between games, and each team exercising that option.
Ronnie Russell's going to go from the 3 spot to lead off for Motown Muscle. Danielle will move to the number 2 spot. Josh Blanchard moves to the 3-hole. EJ Tackett, Anthony Simonson remain in the same positions. LAX Patrick Allen goes from 3 to 1. Stu Williams goes from 1 to 3. Everything else remains the same for LAX and manager Andrew Kane.
The Muscle up again. First team to win 2, and that would be Motown would win and move to the semifinal. LAX needs game 2 to force the roll-off. We've yet to have a roll-off this year in quarterfinal competition. They all came to roll-offs last year. And when they do that, they ring the bell here. Allen opening with a strike for LAX.
Looked like he moved in a little bit off of that big 4. Nice shot by PA. I'll tell you what, Ronnie Russell saved the day, though, when he went washout and then converted it.
Splits the 8 and 9. Russell strikes. Del Ballard hates to lose at anything. You know that better than anyone, Randy. He lives and dies with his players.
Well, I competed on the tour for many years against Del Ballard. I can tell you, there's not a bigger competitor in our sport.
PBA League quarterfinal format is a best-of-2 Baker team match. Team advances by winning both games. If they split, there'll be a roll-off. And LAX needs to force that roll-off by winning this. Andres Gomez. 6 around the 10.
Good shot, too. That open hand release of Andres Gomez and that side rotation, the ball comes in just a little bit late, and the 6 goes around the 10.
Unique spare ball in the hands of Gomez. Cross lane. Picture perfect conversion of the 10 pin. Danielle McEwen moving to the number 2 spot now. Ronnie Russell gives her a strike to work with. Motown up a game. Can take an early 10-pin lead with a double.
Needs help.
It's wide and it's a washout. The classic 1-2-4-10.
Yeah, it was wide. It looked like she missed it at the bottom. It's the wet bar of soap out of your hand syndrome. When a player loses it, all 3 fingers feel like they come out at the same time. There's nothing on it, and that's a washout.
Spare conversion for McEwen and Motown. Clean frame.
Just like Ronnie Russell in game 1, Danielle McEwen able to convert the washout and keep her team clean after 2 frames. Check it out. Nicely done, Danielle.
Manager Andrew Kane describing Stuart Williams as forward, focused, and logical. Don't have to flip the switch when you put Stu in the lineup. 3rd frame.
10 back. And a little extra. Just wanted to remind him he's still here.
Come on.
He's one of the better showmen out here.
Come on.
Now Josh Blanchard for Motown. Unique environment of Bayside. They don't stop the cheering nor the music in their Bopo League, which is famous for no prize fund. And pride in winning is the only thing they go for. And Blanchard strikes, much to the happiness of Bopo.
Rock solid.
Andrew Kane managing the LAX squad. He actually roomed with Jason Belmonte back in 2003 in Vegas, and he could see his style. And Martin Larson comes up through the nose, and it's a split. It's a 3, the 4, the 6, and the 7, but it's makeable.
LAX in big trouble right now. Martin Larson doesn't convert here. Their chances of coming back and winning this game, not good.
Two-time defending Alliance Cup champion Silver Lake Atom Splitters went down to the New York City WTT Kingpins. And now the two-time runners-up here, the LAX, perhaps on the verge of a first-round defeat as well. Motown Muscle, with a strike working, can step on the gas here. E.J. Tackett setting up the anchor. 4th frame, 14-pin lead, can extend to 24 with a strike.
10, dude. What's the key to Tackett's power?
Well, he literally lifts off when he gets the foul line, uses his legs, and then he snaps his elbow and wrist so hard at the bottom. Watch him explode right here at the foul line. Almost straight-legged. No knee bend at all. He gets into that position there and then just almost like a sprinter coming out of the box.
Belmonte's fans fly. 6 clips to 10. Strike for LAX. Much needed for LA.
That was needed last game, 2nd ball in the 10th frame.
So LA will have one more shot through the lineup. And now Anthony Simonson, you can't say enough about this, what this young man has done over the last year in professional bowling. Youngest major titleist in history.
Looked like he got fast and overthrew it.
2-4-10 split.
Remember, a lot of time in between the last time he threw it. See how he came up and out of it and kind of had that little hop there at the foul line. Just looked like he kind of overthrew it and got a little fast on that shot. Now trying to slide the 2 into the 10.
Oh, and an open frame for Motown, and now just that quickly, when Motown steps on the lanes next, they only will have a 9-pin lead, and LAX still in it. They need this game to force a roll-off to ring the bell here at Bayside Bowl. PBA League rolls on. PBA's Extra Frame is your home for exclusive live coverage of the PBA, PBA 50, and PWBA tours. This week, Extra Frame is streaming live from the PBA 50 Tour event at the Villages, Florida. Don't miss a minute of the action. Yearly, monthly, and 3-day subscriptions are available. Click on the Extra Frame link at PBA.com today for more information.
Very excited to be joining you and the rest of the crew for some Extra Frame coverage
10
a little bit later this year.
Frame National Tour events.
I'm psyched.
Starting with the main shootout will be featured.
I get more time with my buddy Mike J.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. Out with Randy on the road, and now we're back with the PBA League and a big shot for LA. After trailing, they can now take the lead with a double out of Patrick Allen. 6th frame. Maybe no, 4-7 high for Allen.
Boy, and that was one that Patrick Allen really wanted, because they would have taken the lead with a strike there. Remember, they're down, losing the first game. Avoids the big split, but really could have used that strike there to take the lead.
Future Hall of Famer Patrick Allen doesn't really look comfortable today, but needs to fill this frame. It's his last pitch if they don't force the roll-off. Covers 2, slash the box. Final trip through the lineup for Motown. They're up a game, win the second game, and move on. Ronnie Russell moving to the leadoff spot here in game 2, 6th frame.
Ronnie Russell's comfortable now.
Good move by Del Ballard. Put people where they're comfortable.
Well, he finished the second game off nicely with 2 strikes in the leadoff position.
Strike in the box for Motown, and a 9-pin and 1-game advantage in this 2-game match. Now Andres Gomez. Frames are running out for LA, 4 to play. And just a touch on 4-pin.
Remember, after 5 frames, the teams do flip-flop lanes. They change lanes, and we've seen throughout this competition how teams will go over to that left lane and they get a little bit more curve than they're expecting. And that's exactly what happened to Andres right here. That's an actual brain inside that bowling ball, Mike. You know,
that's brain power.
Some viewers are gonna chime in and go, yeah, I think it's Randy's brain.
Hey, let's test Randy's brain.
They're like, no, Randy's brain would be much smaller.
7th frame. Strike working for Motown. Game up, can double their lead. Here's Danielle McEwen. 6 clips the 10.
Yeah, LAX is in trouble. I'm going to tell you why. Danielle strikes there. Right behind her is going to be Josh Blanchard. And Josh Blanchard has not missed yet. And that line to the pocket, similar to Danielle's, I'll look for them to throw another strike in the 8th by Josh. That'll be a 3-bagger. LAX in big trouble.
Stuart Williams up for LA, 8th frame. 2:15 max for LA. Come on. And roller, now 10-pin.
So tough. And you heard Jason Belmonte in the interview with Kimberly at the start of this match, how you have to throw your 2 best shots because that's all you're getting. And a marginal shot just isn't going to cut it. hitting the pocket and hoping that your carry isn't going to cut it. You got to find a way to get the ball to finish flush to give you the best chance to take all 10 to the deck.
Momentum on the side of Motown and the lead. Josh egging him on, and he has the rock in hand. Double working for Motown, looking to dispatch the two-time runner-up LAX here in the Elias Cup in the PBA League. 8th frame. Momentum.
It's very obvious that Josh and Danielle had the best look to the pocket for Motown Muscle, and they've done a nice job getting every ball there as Josh gets a hug from an odd person in a squirrel suit.
Martin Larson can't shake out the 10. And now the man they call Squirrel. When you bowl a perfect game here, Randy, they give you a brick. And they fell in love with EJ. They called him Squirrel, and you can go and find a brick with Squirrel on it. One of a few to throw perfect games here. Oh, rough. 6 around the 10.
Well, all they need to do now is just stay behind the foul line, and they're going to win. Max score for LAX, 193. EJ Tackett and Motown Muscle are already in the 2 teens. A spare here, and it's over.
Open frame.
Okay, stand by.
212 max now for Motown.
Belmonte has to strike out to force Anthony Simonson to mark in the 10th.
Mental error, and turning it over to Jason Belmonte, the 3-time and defending Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year. 10th frame. LA must have it. And no, it's light.
Done.
Should have used that other ball.
So the PBA League, both of the favorites coming in, the Silver Lake Atom Splitters and the LAX, will not survive the first round.
And nobody more disappointed than Jason Belmonte. That's a long way to travel to bowl one match in this event. Not to mention the fact that he's a competitor. Nobody likes to lose.
And interesting on the flip side to talk about Del Ballard and the way he built this team. With young talent, Danielle McEwen, EJ Tackett, Josh Blanchard, Anthony Simonson, Ronnie Russell, the veteran of the group. And now Simonson with the victory lap. Motown Muscle will advance to the semi-final. Coming up next, the Brooklyn Styles will face Norm Duke's Dallas Strikers. Motown steps on the gas. They're in the semifinals. Messenger, no. Final score in game 2, 202 to 180. 2-0. Kimberly Pressler is with our winning manager. Kimberly.
That's right, I'm with Del Ballard. I've seen you guys excited over here, giving high fives. You guys earned it. You worked hard for this. Now, Del, you put together a team that is relatively inexperienced when it comes to league play, but it worked out for you. You guys just took out a powerhouse in LAX.
I knew it was going to be really, really hard. All 5 of those guys I work with, so I understand how great they are. But I knew our team was young. Actually, 3 of them, if you put 2 of them together, they don't add up to my age. So I just know that I know I'm old. But to me, these guys have the heart and the soul that I really respect, and that's what I love about my team.
Well, you got to be proud because they played well today. You guys now move on to the semifinals. You guys going to switch anything up?
No, I like what we've got. Love what we've got.
Well, it seems to be working for you. Congratulations, guys. You move on to the semifinals.
And who will Motown face in their semifinal match? Will it be Walter Ray Williams Jr., Parker Bone III, Sean Rash, and the rest of the Brooklyn Styles? Or will it be the Dallas Strikers, featuring Norm Duke, Tommy Jones, and Bill O'Neill? That question soon to be answered as the PBA League quarterfinals continue after the break. The PBA League quarterfinals are brought to you by BJ's. Amazing prices on top quality brands from groceries to electronics. By bowlingball.com, it's where bowlers go. By Rolltech. Try Rolltech Action Bowling's daily contests and win real cash using your league scores. Make your mark. And by Hammer Bowling. Nothing hits like a hammer.
Visitors to the Portland headline may find this sea arch carved from shoreline granite. Wait for low tide, though, to get a closer look. PBA League rolls on in our bracket. Motown Muscle defeating LAX 2-0. Coming up next, it's the Brooklyn Styles versus the Dallas Strikers in the final quarterfinal. Let's send it down to Kimberly Pressler down in the lanes.
Andrew, I just read the disappointment on your team's face. This is not what you wanted to happen today. In your mind, explain what happened here.
You know, I think they ended up just making better shots than we did down the stretch. We got a little bit of trouble the first game, and we still finished out strong, still had a chance to win it. And we came back in game 2 and just couldn't get things going. And they made great shots when it counted, and we struggled to capitalize on that and try to get back in the match.
Well, looking forward to next year. Do you think you'll try and keep the entire team?
I'd love to, yeah, absolutely. These guys are a lot of fun. We had a great time together, win or lose, and I think that hopefully we'll be back next year.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you, Ben, next year.
Thank you.
Mike Jakubowski with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. We've had 3 2-0s, Randy. Based on your analysis of the lane play, what is the best path to the pocket to get success here?
It's the soft hand and just a little bit of curve. We've seen players try to go with the high hard one. That didn't work. Players that moved way in and tried to open up the entire lane. That didn't work. But watching Josh Blanchard, he had the absolute perfect look. The good news for Dallas and Brooklyn is they have several players on both teams that can do that. They can soften their hand up. They can play that medium type of hook to the pocket. And I'm looking for the veterans to have a lot of success in the upcoming match.
Johnny Petraglia at the helm for the Brooklyn Styles and Norm Duke piloting the Dallas Strikers. And now let's meet the Brooklyn Styles.
Elias Cup coming home to Brooklyn.
The roller gets it! Late fall!
Bringing some style to the PBA League.
And he does it again!
Yo, Brooklyn.
The lineup for the Brooklyn Styles, leading off the all-time PBA Tour titleist with 47, including 8 majors. From Oxford, Florida, PBA Hall of Famer Walter Ray Williams Jr. In the 2 spot, he is 5th on the all-time PBA Tour titles list with 35
from Jackson, New Jersey, PBA Hall of Famer Parker Bone III. Bowling third, he owns one PBA Tour title from Charlestown, Rhode Island, John Van Hees.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
The setup man in the number 4 hole. He owns one PBA Tour title from Cocoa, Florida, Jason Sterner. Bowling anchor, a 9-time PBA Tour champion with 2 major titles from Montgomery, Illinois, Sean Rash. The Brooklyn Styles are managed by PBA Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia. Here are the Dallas Strikers.
If you want to win, you got to strike. Dallas Strikers. It's our time. The Elias Cup, as good as ours. Dallas Strikers.
The lineup for the Dallas Strikers. Leading off, a 7-time PBA Tour champion with 1 major title from Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Bill O'Neill. In the 2 spot, he owns 1 PBA regional title from Apex, North Carolina, BJ Moore. Bowling third, the 2014 PBA Southwest Region Player of the Year from Houston, Texas, Sean Maldonado. The setup man in the 4 hole. A 16-time PBA Tour champion with 2 major titles from Simpsonville, South Carolina, Tommy Jones. Bowling anchor. He is 3rd on the all-time PBA Tour titles list with 38 from Claremont, Florida. Player manager, PBA Hall of Famer, Norm Duke. Brooklyn Styles and the Dallas Strikers in the final of 4 quarterfinals. 2-game match coming next in the PBA League. PBA League in pursuit of the Elias Cup, named for PBA founder Eddie Elias, formed the Professional Bowlers Association back in 1958. And the cup for the winner of the PBA League is the Elias Cup. Welcome back to Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine. Bo Po on his feet for the 4th of 4 quarterfinal matches. Kimberly Pressler is laneside. Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. I'm laneside with Norm Duke and BJ Moore. Norm, this crowd was just showing you some serious love. Now, when you decided to put this lineup together, you went with BJ Moore, who is a relative unknown. What did you see in him that you decided to make that pick?
Stardom, future stardom, and now stardom. Right now, this is where his stardom starts.
BJ, you've got to feel pretty confident knowing that this Hall of Famer, someone who's the best in the world, thinks this of you.
Yeah, it's actually it's very humbling, actually. We've crossed together probably the last 4 or 5 tournaments. It's either been right next to each other or with each other, and he's always had good things to say and always kind of taken me under his wing over the last 6 or 7 months. So it's been an incredible experience so far.
Are you up for the task?
Absolutely. That's why we're here, right?
All right. Well, let's see if this guy can follow through. Guys, up to you in the booth.
Thanks, Kimberly. Mike Jakubowski with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. And Bopo loves professional bowling, and the fourth of 4 quarterfinal matches getting set, the Brooklyn Styles and the Dallas Strikers. Randy, when you were a young up-and-coming player, who was somebody that looked up to you that gave you the kind of confidence that Norm Duke has just put into B.J. Moore?
Nobody. I just looked up to Mark Roth and Marshall Holman, and all they did was beat me every week.
Dallas Strikers begin. Bill O'Neill with a 2-10 split out of the gate.
Bill O'Neill, one of the best on tour. Nothing phases him. He's a seasoned veteran, major championship winner. Bill O'Neill gets his team fired up.
The greatest of all time, Walter Ray Williams Jr. for the Brooklyn Styles. And Wilmer gets the 10.
How about that messenger from 56-year-old Walter Ray Williams Jr.?
Befitting of the Portland Lumberjacks. Slinging wood, Walter Ray and your Barbasol clutch save of the day.
It's a little slower than the two-handers, but it's still a flying messenger nonetheless. Head pin to the sidewall, comes across, takes the 10 out. Nicely done, Walter Ray.
BJ drills it. Norm Duke said one of the things about BJ, he's not afraid to strike.
Well, BJ, first of all, is one of the most engaging persons you'll ever meet. Just a nice young man, but I think, I totally agree with Norm Duke. That kid's got a boatload of talent.
52-year-old Parker Bone III, Hall of Famer. Bookend Hall of Famers atop the Brooklyn Styles lineup. Second frame in this 2-game Baker match in 4 around the 7.
It's been a common theme throughout the early part of the competition, left-handers and ringing 7-pins. Ryan Simonelli had the same issue. Parker Bone III starts off with a ring and 7.
Parker clips his 7. If a 7-pin falls in the forest and you didn't hear it clip, Randy, would it still fall?
Parker Bone III, age 52.
Another young gun for the Dallas Strikers is Sean Maldonado, 2-hander. Across the nose, 3-10, baby split.
Too much up the lane for Sean. Needs to move in and create a little bit more angle.
Maldonado owns 6 PBA regional titles, including 4 consecutive regional title wins in 2015. Cross lane at the 3-10. And a pretty pickup.
Another rising star in Sean Maldonado. Tommy takes care of the sweat.
Let's go.
Woo! Would that be sweat equity?
Just a little bit.
Team play. Now John Van Hees. Saw him win at the World Series of Bowling, new PBA Tour winner. Been around the block, 12 years out on tour. Finally cashed in at the World Series of Bowling, and it's given him a ton of confidence. And he elevates to this Brooklyn Styles club. Third frame.
Dead flush.
Attitude matching his environment. Now back over to the Dallas Strikers and Tommy Jones, future Hall of Famer of the Professional Bowlers Association, 16 touring titles. He's in the setup position here, 4th and 9th for Dallas. 5 players combining for 1 team score.
Hard to believe Tommy Jones is almost 40 years old. He's one of the best team players. I really enjoy Tommy in this team competition, and he seems like he comes through more often than not.
Johnny Petraglia, manager for Brooklyn,
slots Sterner in the all-important setup role. 4th and 9th, strike working for Brooklyn. PBA Tour titleist, it's tight and high and in the nose, big 4.
Well, the Dallas Strikers have avoided open frames in the first and the third, converting on both splits. I don't think that's going to be the case here for Brooklyn and Jason Sterner.
Little something from Walter Ray there, assuring Jason, just take the count. No point getting fancy there.
Yeah, coming from the guy who's the only player to ever make the Big Four, he doesn't want to be the second guy.
Jason, don't make this.
He wants that distinction all to his own.
The only player manager in the PBA League is Norm Duke. Pilots his own club, and he's in his own anchor slot. Calls his own number, and a split falls away, just a 4-7.
We talked about it in the on-camera. That straight up the gut shot just doesn't look right. It looks like you just need to open up the lanes just a little bit. You see Norm trying to take his hand out and really go up the lane. Lucky to trip that 10-pin out late.
Duke loves the environment here at Volpo. And he says he hasn't seen the likes of it in 35 years. Randy, can you think of a similar venue that has brought this much energy to a PBA event?
All right, never. The first time we ever saw anything like this was in Erie, Pennsylvania for our first ever arena show. I believe it was like 1995 or something like that.
Sean Rash anchor Brooklyn. He drills it straight back.
Nice shot by Sean. He's playing the lanes correctly.
Everybody gets one shot, feeling each other out. It's the first in our best of 2. Brooklyn versus Dallas for the final spot in the PBA League semifinals. Dallas Strikers with a 14-pin advantage in game 1 in this best of 2 final quarterfinal number 4 in the PBA League. 6th frame, and leadoff player Bill O'Neill toes the line here. 7-time winner, a lot of team experience for Bill. 4-time first-team All-American at Saginaw Valley State in a 7-year Team USA run. Here's O'Neill in the 6th for Dallas, and that gets way outside. 1-2-4.
Well, not his best. But with a conversion on the 1-2-4, the Dallas Strikers will remain clean for 6 frames. And this is wide right, gets into that hang spot. That's just right about the 6-7 board.
Straight path. A good conversion slash in the box for Dallas and O'Neill. Time now for our Rolltech stat of the day. Focus on the PBA Tour's all-time earnings leader, Walter Ray Williams Jr., #1, over $4.6 million. Great with a chance to double, and he slides the 7-8 out.
Yeah, well, anybody who carries like he has the first 2 shots can make $5 million bowling. I mean, come on.
How has he had so much longevity?
Well, Walter Ray's a shot maker, and back when he first came out on tour, it was about making shots, but he also learned how to adapt with the changes in oil patterns, the changes in equipment, and it's the other aspect of Walter Ray Williams Jr., good clean living.
BJ Moore steps up and goes bang, bang in his first 2 shots on each lane.
BJ Moore is a beast. Beautiful form. Snaps that elbow and wrist at the bottom, creates a lot of power. His first 2 shots on national television.
Bang, bang. Dallas with a 1-pin lead. Brooklyn Styles up 7th frame. Parker going to 3rd with strikes. Parker flights out.
Oh, look at that. A 7-pin for a left-hander. Hard to believe.
Four times this man has won the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award winner, one of the greatest ambassadors ever, playing for one of the greatest ambassadors ever, Johnny Petraglia right behind him, and those two with a special bond over time and over careers. Manager Johnny Petraglia taking the mantle of bowling's greatest ambassador. His great career, 14 PBA Tour titles with 3 majors. Inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame in '82 and 3 terms as the PBA president. Now Sean Maldonado up in the 8th frame for Dallas, and he splits the 8 and the 9.
Johnny Petraglia, one of the good ones in our sport.
Oh my goodness, beyond good.
He signed me my first ball contract way back when, and we've been friends for a long time. But I'll tell you, Johnny, just great to be around, a class act, and some of the greatest stories ever.
Indeed. The man Johnny calls the ham in the middle of the sandwich. John Van Hees, passing, great. Folds the 5-9.
Now, Mike J., that could potentially be a mungus shot, as in humongous, if they could turn that into a double with a strike from Jason Sterner in the 9th frame. But anytime you go Brooklyn and you can strike, you got to capitalize on it.
Norm Duke picking up Tommy Jones. His physique, according to Norm, has not changed, and Tommy has maintained his power over his career. 9th frame, set up. Jones. Powerful strike for TJ. Extending the strikers' lead to 22 pins here in the first of this best of 2.
Well, we'll see what Norm does in the 10th frame, and not to discount the great Norm Duke Hall of Famer, but if they get through this first game, you might want to reconsider putting Tommy Jones in that anchor spot.
Sterner setting up, trying to cut into the lead here in the 9th. Light, got it. A lot of ball in the back end. Sterner cashes in, doubles, and just a 12-pin advantage now for Dallas heading into the 10th.
Now remember what I was saying about that Brooklyn strike by John Van Hees in the 8th?
On that one.
Now you can see how big it is. Duke, however, can get up here in the 10th frame and shut out Brooklyn Styles.
Player manager Norm Duke called his own number, put himself in the 5 and dime anchor player 10th frame.
6 left, the 10, Duke. 9 spare wins it. 9 spare, they capture game 1. 226, that'll give the strikers Styles best they can shoot 225.
Norm really enjoys coming to this Maine community. He just notes the community support and the involvement of the companies involved with the support and the passion of the fans and just the sheer fun. Norm's eyes just light up talking about this event. Now he can take his Dallas Strikers to a 1-game advantage.
Look out. Oh my.
That's enough.
You still got to cover the spare, but again, you could see his ball reaction is a bit suspect. Tommy Jones's ball reaction looks perfect. Might want to rethink the lineup, Norm. Just saying.
Duke checking the math. Talked to Norm about that, and he actually is not afraid either to put BJ Moore into that 5th position. He was drafting. He said, I need somebody that can get left of everyone.
I like Tommy Jones in that position. He's got experience.
Rash finishing up. Messenger gets the 10. Won't be enough. Brooklyn will go down 1-0, but any knowledge on this right lane could come back to help Brooklyn as they'll get 5 frames on it in game 2. Players will flip every 5 frames. Dallas on the board with a 226 win. Will go up 1-0. 2 wins needed. We've yet to have a roll-off in the quarterfinals. Roller.
Maybe?
No.
Well, Brooklyn has the right player in the anchor position in Sean Rash.
It'll be very interesting after the break to see what Norm Duke decides to do. Does he stand pat or does he make a move?
Does your ego get in the way, or does the good of the team trump that?
All right, guys, come on.
Nor's been great for so long, but based on what I've seen in the 3 shots that he's thrown, I think his ball reaction is questionable, especially being in the position of anchoring his team. We'll find out, though, when we come back to Portland, Maine.
Some of the best seafood in the world out of Maine, including the famous Maine lobsters. They turn pink when you steam them perfectly.
Does that seafood have any idea what I could do to it right about now?
Oh my goodness, and then oysters, clams, and scallops, oh my. Ever get a chance to sample the cuisine here, encourage you to do so as we flash back to the very first PBA League Elias Cup Finals in the New York City WTT Kingpins with Tommy Jones.
Scott Norton also part of that team in this competition, as is this next fella. You might have heard of him, PDW, Pete Weber.
And the New York City WTT Kingpins, founded by Billie Jean King, have already advanced to the semifinals. Tommy Jones, a part of that club. Tommy, the only player in PBA League history to win the Elias Cup with 2 different teams. Let's go lane side with Kimberly Pressler to a PBA Hall of Famer.
I sure am. I'm with Johnny Petraglia. Now, Johnny, that was a good match between the 2 teams, but you guys need this win in order to advance and make it a roll-off. So what is the strategy from here on out?
Well, I think, we got a little bit unlucky in the first game. They made 2 splits, which was 2 great shots. Parker leaves the solid 7 in between strikes. There's 20 pins. As long as we can bowl as well as we did the first game, if the breaks go a little bit our way, I think we'll be okay. Because the team's solid. I'm leaving the lineup the same. We're bowling a great team, so we're going to have to bowl a good score.
How much do you enjoy these type of competitions?
I love it. This is, you bowl individually all year long, and when you get to share it with a team once or twice a year, it's terrific. Especially, I live around the block from Parker, and to share something together is really a lot of
team camaraderie. It's always a wonderful thing. Good luck to you guys. Back to you in the booth.
When we return, the Dallas Strikers with a 1-0 lead over the Brooklyn Styles need 1 more win to advance. With a Brooklyn win, we force a roll-off. Dallas, Brooklyn, final game coming next. Jakubowski with Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler as the PBA League rolls on. Managers have the option, Randy, to change lineups between games. Norm Duke does pull the trigger.
We talked about it before we went to break. Norm does the right thing, changes the lineup, and puts Tommy Jones where I think he needs to be, and that's in the anchor position. Nice move by manager and player Norm Duke.
Walter Ray Williams Jr., the 7-time PBA Player of the Year, the last at the age of 50, starts off with a strike, 4-7, the last of ball.
See, Walter Ray's going straight, but he still has a little bit of that down lane motion. It's not the dead straight heater, that high hard one. That's the way I think this whole pattern needs to be played. There you go, just a little feather to the right. Got that one in a pinch, looked like, and it still held pocket. Let's see what Norm Duke's adjustment is.
So Norm slides from anchor to leadoff now in game 2. 7 career majors on his portfolio. Norm Duke. Strike and strike, 2 Hall of Famers.
There's the adjustment. He was going really straight early on, and now watch this. He's going to feather this one a little bit to the right. You see it's got rotation on it, and there's the back end reaction. Perfect play, perfect adjustment by the Hall of Famer.
A shoe adjustment for Norm Duke as Parker Bone steps up. Back-to-back Hall of Famers on top of the Brooklyn lineup. Unchanged by Petraglia. Down comes the left hammer.
Hey, Mike, what happened there?
Bang, bang, Hall of Famers.
No 7-pin.
No 7-pin. Was it a similar move for Parker on that side?
I mean, his reaction looks so good. You see that ball get to the pocket every shot, but it's just a matter of going through the pins the right way. It looked like he got just a pinch softer. Watch this game, folks.
Young gun B.J. Moore bowls under the PBA South region.
And that one gets away, and it's a baby split on the wrong side. 2-7 split.
Got it scooting a little too far to the right on that shot. Look at that hand at the bottom. Wow, is that impressive.
Moore does have a PBA regional title. He earned it in 2013 in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. A couple of sixth-place finishes, his best ever on the PBA Tour. And he clips it. Spare, converted.
These young players today are fearless. You get on television for the first time and they just perform.
And another split conversion for the Dallas Strikers, as Johnny Petraglia noted. Styles have a double working. John Van Hees, winner at the most recent Scorpion Championship, part of the World Series of Bowling.
Last time up for Johnny went Brooklyn.
Double to open for the Styles. They need this game to force a roll-off and stay alive in the PBA League.
Beauty. Good pitch.
And he's drops it.
Mike J, do you think he went Brooklyn the last game because they're the Brooklyn Styles?
That's probably why it was celebrated.
Hey, just throwing it out there.
All strikes are cheered here by the Bowl Portland community, no matter what side of the headpin they're on. Sean Maldonado, Southwest Region Player of the Year back in 2014, and the famous hop timing maneuver on his part, and the tough spare, the 3-6-9-10.
Trouble. Yeah, this is not a stick. This is his style. He always hops like that at the foul line. Left himself a toughie, though. 3-6-9-10.
And the 10-pin stance, so open frame.
Could it be our first roll-off? Starting to shape up that way, Parts.
Jason Sterner can jump on the gas here.
Brooklyn.
A what? Four-bagger.
Boy. Yeah. You say that time, eh? More importantly, 45-pin advantage as Brooklyn jumps on it in an attempt to tie things up and force the roll-off. A couple PBA Tour titles for O'Neal back in 2015 as he toes the line here, fourth frame. And that one skates wide again for O'Neal, 2-4-10. O'Neal, a major title winner in 2010 at the U.S. Open in Indianapolis. And another split conversion for Dallas.
You got to love the react from Bill O'Neal. Big trouble in Big D, but Bill O'Neal can make the 2-4-10 as well as anybody out here.
Classic O'Neal. Sean Rash up, player, bucket, and the 8-pin kicks out, just a 2-4-5.
42-pin lead. You see the 2012 PBA Player of the Year, Sean Rash. He used to own the World Series of Bowling. Did it for many years.
Up and at him straight on the spare conversion. Cover for cover for Rash.
Both times.
And Rash has forged the relationship with Petraglia and Walter Ray, and we've seen Sean Rash mature over the years in his time on the PBA Tour.
They work for the same company. They're on the same staff together.
And now Tommy Jones inserted into the anchor position by player manager Norm Duke, fifth frame. Jones slaps away the 10. And a strike for Dallas.
Not yet. Come on now.
Tommy Jones sets it up for the back half. Brooklyn looking to even and force our first roll-off. Will they ring the bell? Find out next here at Bayside Bowl. PBA.com is your home for officially licensed PBA merchandise and apparel. Right now through May 8th, check out specials on PBA League t-shirts for all 8 teams. Simply head to PBA.com and click on the shop link to browse all of your options. There is a big shipyard bell here at Bayside Bowl that rings whenever there's a roll-off, and the Brooklyn Styles need to hear that bell to extend this match. They're down a game, but they're up 42 here in game 2. Walter A. Williams Jr., his final shot. 6th frame, light, and the 4 stands.
Brooklyn Styles are in the 220s halfway through this game. The Dallas Strikers, they're in the 180s. So they need a lot of striking to go on in Big D, and they need for Brooklyn to wait for them.
Walter A. clips the 4-pin.
I was going to say, Walter hasn't missed a single pin spare since, like, the Nixon administration.
Never a doubt, never a doubt. Never a doubt.
And that's when Nixon was vice president. And now Norm Duke, being set up by Tommy Jones in the 5th, can double up in the 6th and cut the lead down to 31 pins. Norm looking for it to move, and he shakes out the 7.
Just enough side turn to tickle the rack.
8 pins on the deck.
Here, Norm's just say there's 8 pins left on the deck. He was close, about half of that. And it still gives a little bit of hope for the Dallas Strikers. Now, Parker Bone III, Hall of Famer.
Oh! Solid 9. 9 is up, Parker is down.
What's happened? Did the Earth all of a sudden stop rotating on its axis? Did something change in the universe? All of a sudden, Brooklyn can't strike.
Teams have flipped lanes every 5 frames, so Brooklyn now operating on the left side, and Walter A. gets it to go. But now a big 7th frame, and it's in the hands of B.J. Moore to cut this lead from 30 to 20 for Dallas.
He strikes here, it's going to get real interesting.
The young man has struck twice and converted a split, and now a big situation for B.J. Moore and his Dallas Strikers. And that's why Norm Duke put B.J. Moore on his team.
And he just got a handful of that one. Oh my goodness, he's going to have to change the inserts in that bowling ball.
3 left. 3 left off this last shot. I think 2 left.
And very interesting, taking the information back to the bench does Moore. Now, John Van Hees, 3 frames remaining. Styles clinging to a 20-pin lead. They need this game to force a roll-off to stay alive. The Strikers win late would advance them to the semifinal. 8th frame. And he's tight in the pocket of the 4-pin stands.
Things are getting real interesting. $19-pin lead for Brooklyn with a spare here. Sean Maldonado can get up for the Strikers, striking the 8th and cut it to 9.
And right behind John Van Hees, B.J. Moore in the ear of Tommy Jones, offering what he knew about that last shot. But Maldonado will play first.
Well, you're right. He also went to Sean Maldonado and said, hey, I moved 3 left on that lane.
Texas 2-hander. Didn't get it, and no break on the Brooklyn side. And it's a 6-pin.
Hasn't got one right yet. Just too much up the lane for Sean.
Golly. So bad.
Spare converted. Dallas trails by 20. 2 frames to play.
Feeling it off my hand.
We still have a possibility of a tie in this game here. Strike, spare, strike for Brooklyn. They shoot 224. Duke's team can strike out for 224. Look out.
5-count split for Brooklyn.
How's Sean Maldonado feeling now? Oh my gosh, if he strikes, they take the lead with an open frame here. Right through the old schnozola. 3, 4, 6, 7, 10.
And the open frame for Brooklyn, and now they lead by just 3.
I like that shot too.
O'Neal Jones can strike out for Dallas Strikers. They win the game, they win the match. But it has to happen right here in the 9th frame with Bill O'Neal.
The setup man, akin to the 8th inning worker in a baseball game, trying to set it up for the closer. 9th frame, O'Neal.
Boom! That's why he put me there.
Yes, sir!
Hands it off to the anchor player. Jones will operate with that strike in the 10th. Brooklyn will finish.
If Sean doesn't double here in the 10th frame, Tommy Jones just needs the first hit. Are you kidding me?
It's a flat 10-pin for Brooklyn.
It's almost like someone let all the air out of their bowling balls for the last half of this game. They started with the front 4. They haven't thrown a strike since.
Spare and a fill for 207 for the Brooklyn Styles, and it'll all be up to Tommy Jones.
Tommy Jones needs the first strike in decent count. We've seen Tommy perform in this situation time and time again. If Tommy Jones does not strike on the first ball, we'll go to a roll-off. The first roll-off of the 2016 PBA League. Beauty. It's all up to TJ now.
Never know, guys. We both great games, all right?
Manager Norm Duke pulled the trigger, and he put Tommy Jones in this spot for this situation. 1 strike. And the Dallas Strikers advance to the PBA League semifinals. Tommy Jones would be alive to win a 3rd Elias Cup with a 3rd team. Strike to advance.
Tommy Jones delivered the result.
Who's got next? Tommy Jones.
My bad, baby.
So good in this situation. At one point, they're down 42. Come all the way back. Tommy Jones just needs good count. What a performance, and what a great managerial move by Norm Duke, putting Tommy Jones in the anchor position. Done.
That's a good time
we
for
weren't
that,
getting 4.
as the players say. And Dallas Strikers pull off the comeback in Game 2, and they will advance to the PBA League semifinals on the strength of Tommy Jones.
That's all y'all got after all day?
Bopo on board as Jones finishes off a Dallas Strikers victory, and they advance.
You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
We will talk with the Dallas Strikers when we come back. Dallas advances to the semifinal in the PBA League.
Oh, well.
The PBA League quarterfinals are brought to you by HotelPlanner.com. The best place to book hotel rooms, best rate guaranteed. By BowlingBall.com, it's where bowlers go. By the United States Bowling Congress, creating competitive opportunities at all levels as we build a future for the sport. Visit bowl.com for more. And by Radical Bowling Technologies. Wow, that's radical.
Portland, Maine, Bopo rocking on as the PBA League has completed its quarterfinal phase, and the semifinals are set. The New York City WTT Kingpins will face the hometown Portland Lumberjacks. The other side of the draw will feature the Motown Muscle and the Dallas Strikers. Time now for the Geico Championship recap, Randy.
Motown Muscle versus LAX, game number 1. Anthony Simonson strikes out the 10th frame to shoot 223. Belmonte needs a double, gets the first hit, goes through the nose. They lose game 1. Then in game 2, how about a little 10 in the pit by Danielle McEwen, followed by another 10 back by Josh Blanchard. Too much muscle. They win the match 2-0. Then it's the Dallas Strikers against the Brooklyn Styles. How about Tommy Jones in that first game setting up Norm Duke with a strike in the ninth? Duke needs the first hit. He gets the first hit. Dallas captures game 1. So what does Duke do? Well, he makes a little lineup adjustment. Bill O'Neill gets on track. After making a couple 2-4-10s, he strikes in the ninth, sets up the 10th frame. Sean Rash needs a double. 9th strike for him. Tommy Jones, first hit winner. They advance by winning 2-0.
Kimberly Pressler is down in the lanes.
It's pretty somber down here on the lanes right now. You know, Brooklyn Styles, you guys at one point were ahead by 45 pins. What do you feel was the defining moment where it all changed for you?
Well, obviously, Norm carrying the real light hit that kept their momentum going. And 2 shots that went high, one in the first game, one in the second game on the left lane. We paid the max. It's a game of inches, and that's what it came down to, where we lost by a half a mark both games. Tommy made a really great shot when he had to.
Do you think the left lane killed you guys?
The left lane was much tougher than the right lane. The right lane was really, really nice. They won the toss. They chose to finish the match on that lane, which was the right thing to do.
Now, Parker, let's talk about momentum, because in the 7th you needed a strike, and then you had that ringing 9-pin. What went wrong?
You can't really do much about that. I mean, destiny has its ways. You make a great shot and you hope for 10 pins to fall, and unfortunately, we bowled outstanding as a team, and unfortunately, Carmen was not on our side.
Well, you guys did play very well. Thank you so much for your time. Now we're going to go over here and talk to the Dallas Strikers. Norm, your team did amazing. You pulled through when you need to. You made a huge change, and you decided to put Tommy at the end there. Why did you decide to do that?
Because I knew he had it in him, 1, and 2, because the more traction these lanes get, the better it is for Tommy and the worse for me with our strategy. So I said, look, guys, they're terrible for Tommy the first game, but they open up for him late. Let me just throw the 10 and let him throw the 10th the second game when we did it like we planned it. It's actually his idea.
Now, Tommy, let's talk a little bit, because if you win this, you will be the only person to win 3 Elias Cups on 3 different teams. So how much did that play into your mindset when he put you in anchor?
Well, I love team bowling, you know, and every year I've had some good teams, and same thing here. I got some friends, you know, some great friends on my team. Our captain's a Hall of Famer, and you know, anytime you get to bowl with some friends out here, it's always great.
Well, congratulations to you guys. You now move on to the semifinals and take on the Motown Muscle.
And Randy, what a difference a year makes. A year ago, there were 4 rollouts in the quarterfinals. This year, 4 2-and-out sweeps, and the favorites have fallen here in the 2016 PBA League.
Yeah, the 2-time defending champs are gone. LAX is gone. The heavy hitters aren't here anymore. I thought the Brooklyn Styles had a really nice chance with all the veterans and all the experience on that team. They're gone. But I thought that the managers of the winning teams did a real nice job of positioning their players where they thought they needed to be, and Norm Duke proved that in the last matchup that we just saw. So we still have a lot of great players left, a lot of great teams left, and a lot of great competition still to come.
The quarterfinals are complete in the PBA League for 2016, and the semifinals are next. Join us next Sunday at 1 Eastern, the PBA League semifinals on ESPN from Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine. All 2-0 sweeps in the quarterfinals at the 2016 PBA League, and the semifinals are set. Motown versus Dallas and Portland versus New York City. For Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler, this is Mike Jakubowski. Big thanks to the ESPN production team. Don't miss it. 2 big weeks of PBA League coming at you from Portland, Maine.